So, hello everyone. My name is Christian. I'm going to be the moderator of today's event. And we are here now at the third webinar for the Developing Skills in Intellectual Property Rights, Open Data for Sustainability and Circularity, short IPR4SC project, which we've been implementing for a year and a half now. One of the activities of our project, and just to make it a short presentation of what we do here for the guests who actually joined for the first time and maybe are not very knowledgeable about the project as a whole, the whole idea of the activities and the main aim of the IPR4SC project is to boost innovation and sustainability and circularity transition competences for the European inventors and innovators, so that actually we can promote innovation and sustainability through the use of the intellectual property rights and the use of intellectual property rights tools. That being our main goal, of course, the project also targets a few of other important aspects. For instance, our more goals or like outcomes that we would like to achieve are to assess, or actually not only would like to achieve, some of them are already there, and we've done significant progress, for instance, for the first one, as to assess the status of the IP knowledge and competences among the European stakeholders, divided into different subgroups, starting from the users, like companies or researchers who do a lot of research in terms of IPR, technology transfer offices, relevant stakeholders such as attorneys, but also including students who would be soon becoming part of the workforce and whose skills are even more important to learn now and know how to deal with IPR, so that this will become a relevant factor in the future. So our first aim was to see what is the status quo, see what are we missing, what do we have in stock for now, and for that we actually did a relatively big survey targeting more than 1,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of students, a lot of companies, again, these specialists and experts in the intellectual property, which revealed that there is indeed a gap in terms of who knows, what knows, and how people use intellectual property. And this only confirmed the importance of our project and the relevance of implementing our next goals and aims, which is to develop a one-stop intellectual property tool, which will be useful for the inventors, innovators, IP users, IP researchers to actually gain a lot of information in one place, to understand concepts, because it also provides a lot of insightful information, and also to grant them access to a lot of existing resources such as IP databases, existing other IP tools, existing organizations such as technology transfer offices, existing help such as connecting them to the relevant networks of IP attorney, and finally, work in progress yet, and to be done and implemented very, very soon out of this meeting is the development of learning materials, which is supposed to target these gaps, which is supposed to strengthen the existing skills and improve the situation regardless that. So these were just a few things about our project, and I'm just gonna go with the main dish of today's webinar, which is actually our second aim, which is the presentation of the IP Monitor, the one-stop tool that I was speaking before that, as we're ready to launch. We actually launched this initial stage of it in a more programming language, or the gamers who would love it, you know, like more of a better test of it, which we are already picking on improving it and actually gaining it to the best of the qualities that we can do it, and actually making it perfect, which is one of the reasons of today's, of course, webinar, is to also maybe collect your questions and feedback on how to use it and to help us make it even better. But just to introduce you the idea of the tool and what we're going to be speaking about is that the IP Monitor is not just yet another platform or another IP tool. This was supposed to be a helper for the stakeholders, for the people interested in the IP, for the people who would like to learn more about that, to actually navigate the maze of information, concepts, principles, existing resources, again, such as databases or other IP tools that can help you. So this is a factor that can actually make your life easier to understand and make a better impact for yourself by understanding how to use these resources and to put them to a better use for somebody's needs, business interests, or research practices, if it matters. So we celebrate today the launch of this IP tool, and without much of the time to be taken from our speakers today, we are gonna get to understand this. We're gonna get to experience a little bit of the tool in itself in the later stages. But before we do that, I would really like to start our event with a little bit of introducing to the context, introducing to the idea that why it is important to have the IP webinar, to have the IP monitor, to why was one of our motivations to create it. And for this, I would like to invite our first guest, our first speaker, who is representing of the EACEA, a very, I would say, innovative.
Hello, me slušaš?
Sorry, could you mute? I'm sorry, just when you connect, please mute yourselves. Otherwise, it's a bit of a problem for everybody. So yeah, as I was saying, I would like to introduce our first speaker, representative of EACEA, who are actually very good experts in the field of IPR. They have over 2 decades of offering services, offering support, and offering analytics in the IPR field. And without further ado, not to take too much of your time, I would like to introduce Giovanni Pianigiani. I hope
right.
Very
good,
right.
Very good.
A very good expert and a really nice guy. So without taking too much of your time, you have 10 minutes, maybe a few more, since I really tried to make the introduction very short. Hit the road and please tell us why it is important to work with IP databases, why it is important to actually look what IP tools is, and how can it actually help us. The floor is yours, Giovanni.
Okay, well, I'll try my best to accomplish this task. So first of all, give me a rapid feedback if you can see my presentation.
At least I can.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, so the question is, what is the value of using IP databases and IP tools? And first of all, what are IP databases and IP tools? I wanted to start my presentation a little bit earlier. I mean, let's say talking about IP in general. So we know that intellectual property refers to creations of the human mind and how you can protect your creations, your inventions. But we often don't remember that the aim of IP throughout the world is the one of promoting competition and promoting innovation. So promoting more and more inventions, more and more innovation. And that's where IP databases and tools play their part, essentially. So what is an IP database? It's essentially a digital collection of information, of data related to patents, trademarks, and whatsoever, so whatever form of intellectual property you're dealing with, which are typically created and maintained by government agencies, so public offices, trademark offices, patent offices, which are often accessible and publicly free and free of charge, essentially. There are also several, I would say many, private entities that offer IP database, and their value-added features mostly are represented by added information. So what they do is they add more information to the ones that are publicly available. How you can interact with IP database? Well, you can do this by exploiting the features of IP tools, which are essentially software designed for supporting individuals and businesses in searching, creating, protecting, and managing IP assets. There are tons of tools available on the market, which span from open access, open source, freemium solutions, and paywall-based solutions that can help you or researchers, students, professionals to get hands-on IP data, get information from them, and essentially guide decisions when it comes to R&D. So in this slide, I wanted to provide a really schematic view of how users can interact with IP, with intellectual property. So the role of IP databases is the one of coding the data, the information revolving around intellectual property. And IP tools actually stand in the middle between users and IP databases. So you can interact with IP databases by exploiting IP tools. The most important value of an IP database is essentially that you have one place to go if you want to find IPR data, and that these kind of data enable patent analysis, trademark analysis, so IP analysis in general. Data can be indexed in multiple ways. So as I was mentioning before, you can index your data by adding multiple attributes that might further help synthesizing and focusing your research. And you can use, most important part is that you can use this data to conduct prior art searches to determine the novelty of your invention. You can monitor the status of a patent application, a trademark application. You can monitor the state of the art in your technological field prior to invest, prior to conduct R&D efforts. IP tools enable individuals to retrieve information from IP databases. So when, if IP databases revolve around data, IP tools revolve around information, which is at a... Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, a pop-up showed, okay, sorry for interrupting. I was saying that, I mean, IP tools can support in general in the creation and management of IP, as they can be used to study the prior art, prevent infringement, so reduce the risk of infringing, and they can be used to ensure the freedom to operate in a certain field. One thing that I wanted to highlight is also that nowadays we all know that artificial intelligence is the trend topic, the hot topic at the moment, and this also affects IP tools and the IP domain in general. So there are many IP tools that are, that provide AI-based features, which can further help and ease the way people in general can interact with intellectual property. I wanted just to highlight that these should be done with the right skill set and with the right attention, because human intelligence cannot be substituted when it comes to intellectual property. So when it comes to circularity and sustainability, what is that, changes in terms of added value? Well, in my opinion, circularity and sustainability seemingly to each other technological and economical field can benefit from IP database, the use of IP databases and tools, as these facilitate the sharing of knowledge and innovation, and facilitate collaboration and the identification of gaps in the innovation landscape. So they promote innovation essentially. And I wanted to close my presentation by rapidly describing a case study coming from the EU-funded project DigiPrime, which aims at developing a circular economy digital platform to try, the aim is to try to unlock new circular business models. You can find here some additional information. I left here a QR code for those who are interested. But what I wanted to focus on is this SPICE open call project. SPICE stands for Searching Patterns for Innovation in Circular Economy, which is a perfect example, in my opinion, of how IP analytics, IP tools, and databases can be used to depict technological landscapes and how they can support strategic decisions when it comes to circular economy. So the field was the one of lithium battery recycling processes, and the IP type that we dealt with was the one of patents. So the first step was to define this the data set to work with, and a set of 4,500 documents circa was retrieved. And here in the next slide, I want to rapidly show you how, what kind of information you can get from such a study by exploiting IP tools and databases. For example, you can take a look of the temporal distribution of patent production, of innovation production in a certain field. In this case, you can see how the analyzed field rapidly grew over the last 5 to 10 years. So is expected to grow in the near future. And you can see also how it's geographically distributed. So you can see how much of, how much Chinese organizations are leading this field, and how much, for example, when it comes to European organizations, how much they should be aware of the gap that actually exists in terms of innovation production in this field. You can take a look at the major organization, at the major players, possibly major providers in the technological domain. And you can also take a look of how they have invested over the past. What kind of innovation strategy they are applying. One of the major outcome of the project, and in my opinion, one of the most important outputs of a patent or in general IP analysis, is that you can try to focus your research on retrieving the technical problems that that innovators and inventors are dealing with in a certain technological field. This can help you highlighting the gaps in the IP landscape that I was mentioning before. For example, you can also highlight what are the technical problems that inventors have dealt with in the last 5, 10, 2 years, so in the recent past. Okay, so this is my last slide. Essentially, I wanted to close the circle because we started talking about IP databases, IP tools. And in this case, you can see how in this project, we started from an IP database containing more than 150 million documents, okay? And we applied professional IP tools to narrow this data set down to a list of 4,500 documents. So this really eases the way researchers and inventors interested in the field of battery recycling eases the way they can get data revolving around this technological field. So eases the way they can access data, eases the way they can search patents, eases the way they can navigate through patents, because these patents were also classified according to the technologies mentioned within, the technical problems mentioned within, and the materials that are claimed to be recovered by the invention disclosed in each patent. So to close, because I think I'm already late in my presentation, I think this can give you a hint of how IP tools and database can be important when you are conducting a research or when you are studying a certain technological field. And furthermore, how the IP monitor that we are developing in this project can guide you in the selection of the right IP tools and the right IP databases for your purposes. So I'll thank you for your attention, and I leave you the floor back to you, Christian.
Oh, thank you, Giovanni. Thank you so much. I think that's a great presentation of what is the aim of our project, why do we do it, and how do we actually intend to make an impact over the innovation field. That was a great presentation. I thank you so much. And now I will give the floor to my friend and colleague, Alenka Pantilowska-Jurak, who is here to present our second approach to IP monitor can help you, which is she's going to be speaking about the technology transfer and technology transfer offices. Alenka, just a few words about her, is one of our leading experts on technology transfer and technology offices. Not only that, she actually has an extensive background in working in and with public sector, so she knows both worlds very well. She's quite adequate in understanding companies and speaking to them, and also she's part of the Rodolfo Institute, who also have a very big emphasis on working with the technology and businesses as well. So if I did something wrong, please correct me, Alenka. Otherwise, the floor is yours. Please show us and tell us what it is so important about that we should know about the technology offices.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge expert, but thank you. Just a second so that I can share you okay, can you see the presentation mode or just the editorial mode?
Editorial.
The editorial.
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. So then I will just stop share and then go again. Aha, okay, now it should okay. Okay, I believe now this is it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, today I'm also here on behalf of our TTO leader, that's Dr. Urška Fritz. She is the one that I actually see as an expert in the fields, especially here at the Faculty of Information Studies. Here's one more to admit. Okay. What I would like to share today with you is actually just, a few words about what technology transfer offices actually are, what's their role, how this part of the TTO actually happened in Slovenia, how our faculty became active in the field of technology transfer, what was actually our story, a few stories perhaps from our side as well, what we saw in the past few years that are already behind us, what are the challenges, and of course, where do we see the importance of the TTOs for the future, or at least in, let's say, a sustainable future, or in the future of circular economy. So firstly, what's the actual importance of the knowledge and technology transfer offices? We see it as, let's call it an act of that we act as an interface between companies, the industry, let's call it, and public research organizations, also higher education institutions, as an entry point. So for the companies and public research organizations to actually meet, to play as a middleman, as we call it, and why, and this is something that I will refer today many times. One is the aspect of building trust among those and also, to level the language that they use, because there are times that ones do not know how to express in the correct manner. Some do not understand what the other wants. So you sometimes need a middleman to, translate the ideas, okay? So by providing our services and research and development, contracting, also IPR protection, marketing, then assisting researchers, setting up companies and developing businesses, ventures. These are all of the aspects that the technology transfer offices work upon. On all of the fields, they play increasingly important role. Now we are trying to establish cooperation between those organizations. Sometimes, well, one of the first aspects is for the research organization to try to find a way how to sell their ideas, and on the other hand, the companies to get the ideas or the information what actually is happening in the research organizations. Yeah, so you know, just to set up the first steps of cooperation, to set the links among them, and then on the next steps, of course, to try to negotiate the prices for the companies, and on the one hand, and how to sell the ideas of the researchers. Yeah? So it's quite a complex act that these TTOs actually have. Sometimes, you know, they also have to, let's say, cruise around the ideas that both of the actors have, to get to the point that one idea of a researcher is then sold to the company, or the other way around, for the company to find something that they need for their future development, or to enrich the products they actually produce. So perhaps a small background of the Slovenia TTOs. The first TTO was established in 1996 at Jožef Stefan Institute. That is our biggest research organization in the country. Then the University of Ljubljana, it was set up in 2007. And then actually 10 years later, it was set up at our faculty. Legally speaking, in 2008, the TTOs were mentioned, but not actually defined in the first legislation. And then in 2011, the resolution of the National Research and Development Program actually set up the first objective on how the TTOs are supposed to work, on the matrix of evaluating of the effectiveness and so on. And then later on in 2022, the resolution now included action plan for the knowledge transfer offices. It highlights the importance of the work they do, the knowledge and technology transfer among not only the researchers, but also to the industry. So also from the legal side, or from the political side, it took a while to set up the idea of how the TTOs are supposed to do that. That is something that is actually an important factor if we want to transfer the knowledge from the research part to the actual industrial part. Of course, that was then directly linked to funding, to the funding of these offices, to the funding of their projects, and to push their work. And that is also how our TTO was established. So the TTO, the Faculty of Information Studies, was set up in 2017 through the project that we participated in together with Jožef Stefan Institute. And actually, I believe that they were all of the TTOs in Slovenia were engaged in this project. It was a consortium of technology transfer that ended in 2022, and we hope to continue it in next years. And because, so now this is one of our stories, you know, how we saw it as an important act, and how we wanted to find a place under the sun, let's call it. We were very new. There were knowledges that we need to gain, and then we figure out, okay, one of the first things that we need to do is actually to show the researchers at the faculty how important is the work that we do? So with our consortium partner, we entered several international exhibitions. And at the end, there were actually 5 of them. And with the innovations that were done in the consortium partners, we won 4 gold, 10 silver, and 10 bronze medal. There were some also financially supported. So this was, the first step to show something, that is important, how important this is for the researchers. And on the other hand, also the business community in our surroundings saw what we are doing, and they also saw the prizes that we won, which is also one of the things that is, slightly building up the trust with the faculty.
Aneta, if I may,
Yes.
we're kind of very tight on time.
Okay.
So can just wrap it up a little bit on the
No problem.
trust and the cooperation. Thank you.
Okay. So I have spoken about the challenges, and of course the challenge is, as I have mentioned, to negotiate, to balance different expectations, to set communication rules among the actors, and of course to speak the same language. Why? Because usually the businesses they only see how to benefit from something. Sometimes they are just, saying what exactly they need because they see just the end road. And of course, academia and research, they tend to see things just a bit from the other point of view. So that's why we say that we do not speak the same language, and we try to unify it. But since you said that we need to go on, I would now like to stress the importance for the future. So one of the main aspects, as we see it, is the importance of innovation with a long life cycle products. Namely, there is a lot of research done now on the, as I said, long life cycle products, on the use of materials, on new materials, on the use of energy, also on the recycling of the products and use of water. So one of these aspects of TTOs is how to transfer this knowledge that is happening in research organizations to businesses and to use this knowledge, because it would then very much add or boost the circular economy. So how to use new materials, how to use energy, how to reuse materials, how to do this long life circle products, and so on. So this is the challenge and also the opportunity for the TTOs for the future. And I believe actually the TTOs have a crucial role here, because we need to transfer this to the other side, let's call it. Okay. And with this, I will finish. If there will be any questions, I'm here and available.
Okay, thank you so much, Alenka. I would like to stress to our guest today that Alenka just presented one of the cases of the technology transfer, which is kind of also part of the IP monitor, where you can find these organizations. And now with Alenka's help, we understand what they do and how they do it, and that it is not a real easy job to do it. So whenever an inventor needs help and needs help with IP, needs help speaking with the research center, they can address it to the TTO offices, which of course also is part of our support tool. And here we come actually to the interesting and spicy part of our presentation, as we get to understand and we'll get to be introduced to the IP monitor itself. So without further ado, I would like to invite Anna Hafner, also a colleague of mine, who is very familiar with the field of IP, who is a brilliant researcher in this regard with a lot of knowledge on how to even patent, and I think Anna holds a few patents, her own, how to speak with innovators, and also as part of the Logica. Oh no, by the way, I almost forgot to say that Anna was part of the council of the International Federation of Innovators Association, which is kind of a big deal. And I'm saying that so that everyone would understand Anna's position in this and Anna's competences in speaking and understanding the role of IP monitor. And as part of Logica, I know that Anna also was a promoter and part of the projects working together on implementation and application of intellectual property, even including such partners as European Patent Office. So I would ask Anna to share, and maybe you can take it from here, Anna. Please introduce us to the marvelous thing that is IP Monitor.
Dear Christian, thank you for this nice introduction. Now, can you see my screen?
We can see it, but not the presentation itself. It's just the PowerPoint background.
It's your mode, Anna, not presenter's mode. Not presentation mode.
How to change this?
Have you tried just starting it up and sharing your, just try sharing it again.
Try sharing the entire screen. That usually helps.
Below there is an option, projection below, where when you have those icons on the right below, just click and it should work as a presentation.
I really have some problems with this new Zoom that we got in faculty, and yesterday.
Anna, I think we might actually get used to the presentation as it is. I don't think it is really that of a crucial thing if we'll see it a little bit smaller on our screens. I think we can proceed like this, so you don't have to go, to stress too much.
Is it okay for you?
I think yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So today I am with you instead of Sarah Moditz, who is today somewhere where she can't speak. I will now proudly present IP Monitor, this new solution in which a lot of efforts from
is it only me or we lost Anna?
No, I lost her too.
Oh,
yeah, we lost her for.
Okay, let's maybe wait until she comes to continue the presentation. Anna, can you hear us? No.
I guess she will come back. Let's wait maybe
Yeah, because it's really
2 minutes.
Yeah, to hear her first before we go to the presentation of algebra. That would be nice to hear Anna's thoughts on that. Meanwhile, by the way, since we are waiting, I would suggest our guests and listeners for today, if they have a question, you of course can actually address it in the general chat. We will have a final Q&A session after the discussion. I wanted to came after that, after we'll see the monitor, because probably there will be the main bulk of the questions and the admiration for our work, of course. But after all, if you still have questions for our speakers now, maybe we can use this time, and whether you have any particular interest of asking Alenka or Giovanni or their particular working stuff, or maybe something that would interest you, or you have particular questions on the skills or why we presented it today, any kind of questions would go.
Maybe I could. I have not. I don't find the button. Sorry about that. but maybe until Anna comes. So one of the things that the monitor has, and I'm Dolores Moodit's North University, we're also one of the partners, is that we also collected the TTO platforms, the technology transfer platforms, to kind of show what the universities can offer. And I was just wondering, Alenka, because FISH is a small entity, right? I'm guessing you've perhaps not gone that route yet. Oh, perhaps Anna is back with us.
Hello, Anna. Do you hear us? Is everything okay?
I'm very sorry. I really had yesterday a lot of problems with Zoom, and I'm constantly throwing out. And maybe it's because of, you see.
No problem. Let's try it again, and hopefully will work.
I don't know if a possible solution is that somebody else, maybe, I don't know if you, Christian, or Dolores, I don't know who has the presentation, maybe shows the slides, and maybe Anna can comment on that, if sharing her screen and presenting is an issue for her. I mean, technical issue, of course.
Yeah, okay. Well, let me see whether I can see it in the folder.
I think there is a presentation or Google document. But I will still try again. I put it on PDF now, and maybe this will work.
Okay.
Thanks, Anna. Maybe just go ahead.
Yeah,
Can you see my screen now or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Very well. Go ahead.
So forgive me for this. So what I wanted to say, Zoom is constantly now sending me messages that something is wrong.
I think that was one of them, of the messages that something is wrong. Dolores, maybe you can replace Anna on this one, because you're also one of the leading experts on the IP monitor. Just
I mean, I have no idea what Anna wanted to say, but I can say a few words, and maybe Anna
can't
can
even
say a few
finish. You see,
words.
constantly getting messages. Oh, something is wrong. Zoom will be closed. I mean, I just have to solve this by tomorrow, because I have lectures again and I don't know what to do. Do you have this presentation, Dolores?
No, I don't, but Christian, I think, can and can try sharing.
Because immediately when I start sharing, something goes wrong.
Yes, I do have it. Please give me 1 second so that I can just open it. Oh, okay, that's a problem, because oh, yeah, let me try doing this. Okay.
Shall I send it to chat?
No, it's okay. I'm recording, so I cannot minimize the screen, but
try pressing F5.
Yeah, I know. I'll just do it 1 second. Okay, Anna, let's do it like this. Do you see my screen?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'll be happy if you tell me when to move the next slide, so we'll
yes, you can move to the next. So I wanted to say before that this is a solution in which a lot of efforts from my colleagues was invested, as well as from other partners in this project. So what is IP Monitor? This is an internet platform which includes a search engine that contains valuable information about intellectual property rights, databases, and tools for IP management and analysis. And these tools were presented just before by Giovanni. and also some of these tools are powered by artificial intelligence. So in the IP monitor, you will also find information on how to use the selected IP solutions and how they can serve you to support circularity and sustainability. So you can move to next slide. What is the essence of IP Monitor? It's very easy to use. It contains all the basic information on IP rights, is intuitive, and while we tested it, people say that it's visually appealing, that they like the design, and has a lot of valuable information inside. So you can move to the next slide. Our basic aim is, when developing this IP monitor, was to bridge the knowledge gap by providing information and resources that can help EU citizens to improve their IPR-related skills. So what was here behind, I also noticed, for example, if you are looking for advice on intellectual property rights, let's say, how can I apply for a trademark? The Google gives you immediately only pages from United States. But European legislation is not necessarily the same. So this was also one idea behind how to make a web page with that would be more focused to European Union and IPRs, of course. So the second aim was to encourage exploring free and open IPR databases and to retrieve valuable data within them. And the third aim is also to put a special emphasis to green innovations and related IPRs. So related to green innovation. So basically, IP Monitor contains educational resources and also a search engine that will be presented later by Algebra. So we can move on. These are basic parts of IP Monitor. So this is the homepage. And this is on the other side of this page is database. What is on the home page? It's all basic information on IPRs, like if you are interested, what are trademarks, what are patents, and so on. You can find this information briefly described. So in very understandable language. And database, on the other hand, contains worldwide databases, national databases, and regional databases, and or are divided by the types of intellectual property rights. These are patents, trademarks, industrial designs, and geographical indications. And then this database also contains IP tools, so tools for management and analysis of intellectual property rights. There is also a list of technology transfer offices and a list of intellectual property attorneys. So you can move to next slide. Most notable categories are also are here IP and IPR, Green Hub, and documents. So what is the document section? Here inside this section, there are downloadable in-depth reports on intellectual property tools and databases with emphasis on sustainability and circularity. Within the Green Hub, here are introductions and explanations of green economy and circular economy and sustainability, and how are they connected with innovation and intellectual property rights. So in the last category, so IP and IPR, here are explanations of various IP forms and how to search for specific forms within these databases. Yes, then as I said, special attention within IP Monitor is put to green innovation, which can be divided to green patents, green trademarks, and also there is explanation how geographical indications can support sustainability and circular economy. So here is how the search engine looks like, but this will be in more detailed presented by Algebra. So I think that I can leave now the space to Algebra. So Leo, it is your floor.
Oh, before, let me just Algebra.
Of course.
Who else, if not Algebra, to actually give this introduction and teach us how to use IPR, as they are, I think, more than several worldwide companies authorized Algebra to actually give their IP trainings. And I'm pretty sure you quite won a lot of awards of being one of the best trainers. And I'm pretty sure you are in the top in the Croatia. So I would give floor to Algebra, who has a very long, extensive experience of good teaching experiences. And here they are now teaching us and showing us how to use IP Monitor. Leo, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the kind words. If I can just ask you to give me the co-host.
You should be able to share without it, but I will. No
problem. Oh, sorry. No need. Now I see it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. So just give me a second to start everything. Thank you for your kind words. We are, I wouldn't say maybe authorized, but we do have a contract at the moment, I think, with all relevant technological vendors in the world. But that's mostly because our legacy is very focused on digital technologies and the way how to interact with them. So it's more about digital, less about IP, but one goes with another. So at the moment, we do have 5 in past 3 years. We do have 5 protected intellectual property rights worldwide, mostly in the form of different solutions, which helps people to understand the quality in pictures, data in general, and I would say related to data science. And that's one of the aspects of what kind of intellectual property can be protected. Yeah. Okay. Let's go for the use of the IP Monitor. So the representation will be based upon 2 separate slots. One I will show you how you can deal with the content which is inside of website and the database, and the other where I prepared a few very short tasks for you in order for you to browse and look through the IP Monitor website and try to find the information and see how this goes. Well, IP Monitor is generally created with a vision from the partners supported by us with the aim to be a kind of global directory or database, which will help people to easily guide through the process depending on the need, the specific need that they have. And of course, we wanted to create very seamless navigation and try to, we say, optimize the journey, but what is the right word is simplicity. We wanted to make it simple for people to use, because there are so many information, so many facts, so many parts, so many differences that sometimes people get tired or somehow annoyed when they are trying to use it. We wanted to, make this first effort and first information much easier for people who will be using the website. So, as you already saw, the project website now contains 3 different but connected content. One is the project website. The other is the IPR monitor website, the one that Anna was showing us. And the third one is IPR monitor database. I just need to say that the database is constantly updating with new information and will be updated in the days to come. What really we wanted to create is a kind of structured and easy to use experience. You go to the landing page, browse the catalog, make your search, and then you have search results. And then you can decide, will you keep your results based on what you see on the screen, or you will use the links to go outside of the IPR monitor website and the database and move to the original content, which is collected inside of IP monitor database. Having an ecosystem, meaning that you can easily switch between info website and the database. There is a link I will show it to you in a few seconds. IP monitor database, where you can click and then move to this right side of the screen, where you can use the filters and browse the content. Now, from the perspective of a website, and generally from the perspective of the content that is available on the IP monitor website, we decided to go with automatic translation, which is part of your Google or Bing browsers. But I think that all the others are supported as well. If you are using Google, you have 2 different options, and there are some guidance on the website how to do it. You just need to plug in or to turn on the automatic translation, and then depending on the basic system language that your Windows or your operating system is working on, you will select or you can select the translation language. So this is how our website looks in English on the left and in Croatian on the right. For those of you who are not familiar with Croatian, you can use any other language, but you can see down below that there is a small icon which can be accessed in Google Chrome, or you can just easily go into the settings and ask the browser to provide you this kind of feature, and you just click it in. It's totally free, and you can translate the content on any language that is supported at the moment. I think there are more than 70 languages available. Of course, all European languages are also available in the list. Now, from the perspective of website features, as you already saw, you have different kinds of groups, but let's focus on the database. When you enter the database at the moment, it looks like this. We are constantly having workshops about the usability of the content in the website. We had one yesterday. We received lots of great inputs from the partners, especially Giovanni yesterday, Dolores, and our colleagues from Logica and from Fish. So we are now in the process of updating things, make it more simple, more easy to access. And at the moment, I just returned from the meeting with our technical people. So some of the changes will be implemented in the days to come. But for the time being, what I wanted to show you is that you have 3 types of browsing through the content. The one on the left says, okay, go into the content, and there is a search form similar to Google, where you can put any group of characters or word of any kind. You just click the search button, and the system will go through all the content, and wherever there is a certain word or a pattern that you write in the search field, if the system finds a match, the results will be shown on the screen. Then you can combine, or you can just write start to the smart filters. On the left side, you have different groups of filters. At any point when you decide to use some of the filter, there is a notification up. You see this gray number 1, which says that at the moment one filter is active, and it's inside of the group that is shown on the screen. Again, when you say apply the filters, you will get a simplified subset of the results on the right side. And the third option is, we thought it will be for the beginners. If you want just to, have a quick look on what's there, you can answer to few questions, and then at the end, when you answer to all the questions, the system will try to simplify the results. So basically, the idea is for people to combine all 3 search forms at the same time, depending on the exact need they have. Sometimes they need to create or to select to browse a group of information. Sometimes they need to be very precise. Nevertheless, once when you find what you are looking for, you can click in the middle of the screen and you will get the detailed results for anything that you are looking for. Again, here we have this translation, automatic translation. Again, if you click on the button, you will see that on the left you have the English version, on the right is the Croatian version, but you can use it for any language. Now, the fact that we are using the automatic translation means that sometimes maybe some of the verse in some languages will not be translated perfectly. We are trying to make proofreading of all the content in all the languages and try to, somehow affect this kind of translations. So my apology if some of the translations will not be perfect, but from the perspective of accessibility and the availability on different languages, I think with the generative AI tools and everything that's available today, this is the best possible thing how to do it. Now, in this first part, I don't have anything else to say. If there are any questions, I'm available now to answer it. If not, I will proceed to this interactive activity. So Christian, maybe you can help me with the questions if there are any.
No, I don't think so, neither in the chat, but I think we'll have a Q&A in the end. So maybe you just show us the fun and then we'll see what is what is to come in the question parts.
Okay, so let me first show you the website. I hope you see my screen and everything is okay. So as I said, if
Yes,
you
yes,
open, okay.
You do say it's okay.
Yeah, so if you open in the settings, if you say that you want to use the automatic translation, then every time when you hit the site, this kind of pop-up will raise. Here you can choose the language that you would like to translate. Now the system sees that I'm using the Windows in English and I put the Croatian as my native language. So this is the first option that you can have. And if you click on it, you can easily get a translation. Besides that, I will show you the first way how to search. So you use the search form and you put something in it, like, for example, Croatia. You click search and then you have the limited result section here in the middle. What you can also do, you can come and say, okay, I want regional database. I want country to be like WIPO-CODE, and then apply filters, and then only on that database you will get simplified results for the regional databases. It's here. So you see there's only one field. And there's another, I will remove all the filters. There's another way like this wizard, which says, okay, I'm looking for, let's say, register. We are working on this, so some of the questions will be changed in the next days, but in general idea, I want to help with donation management, paid solutions on the regional level, and then I want everything that's related to AI, and then the system will combine all the results and create a wide subset, which then combine all the answers that you have. We are still testing what is the best possible way how to ask questions. So in the next days, this will be changed. But the idea is to combine all of this. So if you want something very, very fast, you go for this search, put the word in it. If you are looking for something specific, then you can narrow down your search by using filters. And then if you just don't know what to expect, you can go to wizard and then go with that and ask for some additional help. Of course, once when you have the results here, the system is that you can expand the information, because maybe some of the logos and some of the information could look the same, but they are different. So if you expand the logo, you can take a look on the main screen, the information about the record. But if you click on the record, then you have really detailed explanation of everything that's related to this IP monitor. Okay, so what I now ask you is to go for some practical work. Okay, so if you all have access to internet, task 1 could be search for specific information. The question is, can you explain those two terms when dealing with patent classification? For this first task, I will show you what was my intention. The idea is for you to go to IP Monitor and then go to the section of patents, find patent classification, and there is a definition on the information. I will show you that. So it's here. Okay, then you hear patents, and inside of the patents, there's your information down below. So more or less, this is how it works. Okay, let's go now with something that you will be doing. So search for the related document. Can you find documents on the website? So I will give you a few minutes to try to look at it. So find the report about free patents online inside IP tools for sustainability and circularity.
Leo, if I may, we're kind of running out of time, so maybe you could just.
Okay, so okay. Give it just a minute. If I can have it, then I will complete it in a minute. So this is how you browse. These are the steps, and then now let's go for the database. Look for the records in database which are related to Croatia, and this is similar to what I referred before. So you just go to this quick search, put Croatia in it, and you will receive the Croatian answer. And then at the end, if you are looking for some free open access tools, you go to the filter, go for the tools, put in the filter free open access, apply the filters, and you will receive the subset. And finally, if you meet the wizard, you can use step-by-step wizard by answering different kind of questions. If you have any suggestions to us, what kind of questions should be asked here, because as I said, we are constantly trying to improve it. Please give us some feedback. But at the moment, we are now preparing the second version of this questionnaire, but it will more or less look the same, but the questions will be a bit different. So by combining all the questions, you will receive a certain subset of the results. So this is from my side. If you have any reflections on it, I'll be here to answer or comment or discuss it with you. Thank you.
There was a question in chat, regardless whether the site is available online or is it launched, because your comments being that it is still improving and so on, maybe you can reflect on that question.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so it's out. We just announced a couple of days ago that it's kind of the first version. It's like we could call it technically soft launch. Let's say that 90% of the website is there. What we are now first trying to do is just to improve the organization of the content. So probably what we expect to change in next few days will be just the look and feel, the way how the filters are displayed, not from the content perspective, but from the perspective of display for the users to make them easier browsing to the content. And we are constantly changing this wizard in a way that we want to prove it. So you can really experience look and feel by answering the questions at the moment. But maybe you want some of the questions won't be so clear, so we want to make them clearer. So we will just rephrase and change some facts of the questions. But let's say from the technical perspective, 99% is there. From the content perspective and this look and feel user experience, we will just improve maybe 10%, and that will happen in the next few days. But feel free to browse it. Everything is available and online. And of course, if you have any reflections, this is here not only because of us, but because of you. Whoever had some reflections, I'm open, or together with partners, we are open for a discussion, or just send us a comments and we'll try to improve it if it's possible.
Yeah, thank you. So I think just to capitalize on your answer is like, yes, it is working, and it's gonna be even better in the near future. There is another question, if I may address it also to you. There are someone asking whether it contains databases for all countries. But I think it also counts to our other experts who worked on the IP monitor. As my role as the moderator, I will try not to give answers. I will just let you show this to them. So there is a search for Montenegro and North Macedonia. I mean, what is the status? Do we have it from everywhere? does it include all the databases? Can somebody share some light on this?
Yeah, so I don't find anything for the Montenegro at the moment, but yeah, we can write it down and see, because probably Montenegro is part of the world, so the worldwide could be accessed. And for example, this is something that we would like to improve in the next days, to try to make easier search between regional, national, and worldwide, because it's kind of hierarchy. So we want to create it in that way, because if you are part of some region, then you practically belong to that region, but also to the world. So we try to make it less separate, less like silo based in terms of browsing, but more like hierarchy. So at the moment, I don't see any records for North Macedonia and Montenegro, but we can double check it, and we can append the data if there is something to append.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can say something. So some of the patent offices also heavily rely on solutions that the other patent offices have developed. So what most likely happened here is that the decision was made that seeing and identifying the information from Montenegro and North Macedonia is better done through other types of databases. Otherwise, there is about, I think it's about, there are about combined, is it, Anna can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think there's about 350 different ones at present. There's about 100 plus IP tools that are included, and then the TTO and attorney and lawyers information.
Okay.
Hope this answers the question. But if you have a suggestion for us, like Leo said, the idea is to constantly add more resources to the database anyway. So we'll be very happy if you have a suggestion, and we can include it both in terms of the databases or IP tools.
I think it's quite obvious since we started answering questions. This is the Q&A session already ongoing. So if somebody else would like technical questions to ask us, whether it's about IP monitor, whether it's another IP question related, or something that our speakers spoke before in terms of Giovanni on the use and the value of IP data for innovation, or Alenka enlightening us about the technology transfer. Once again, maybe you have a specific question about the content on the IP monitor or the database, feel free to do so. So maybe for now, I mean, I kind of, as a researcher, yeah, let's go it this way, as a very personal and very specific interests, can any one of you actually recommend why and what kind of research can I do by using IP monitor? Because it will just tell me where to search for other IP tools. So how can it help me, for instance, in a research? How can it arrange? Can it help me arrange any kind of data? Can it help me search for specific patents if I'm interested in specific industries?
Well,
oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Are you going to answer or me?
I just wanted to, give a comment. Maybe you can start, and then I can continue.
Yes, actually, it leads you to the right database because some databases from specific countries are actually very difficult to find. Because they are in their national language. And so if you browse for these databases, it can be very difficult to find some databases. But so this IP monitor really makes you this process more quickly. This is the basic advantage. But then when you come to this database, still you have to search for the patent within this database. So IP monitor does not include patents
so it just leads me
as they are
to the right
to the correct data, to the right database. Yes, let's put it that way.
I think everyone who actually felt the pain of not getting data where he can find it will understand the beauty of finding easy ways and access to something that is right there, that something that you need, or like just one step before the final data. Yes, Giovanni, please.
Yeah, well, to further comment on that question, you might find, as we stressed a lot, the concept of circularity and sustainability, you might find it difficult to find IP tools and databases that focus on these topics. Even Googling it could be difficult. So we can just try live, digiting green in the search bar, and you will happy to see that, yeah, the IP monitor shows you, a brief but yet an existing list of databases dealing with this topic. So you are taken to the right databases for your scope.
Yeah, thank you. That's very good. I mean, I didn't know that this exists. It's not my specific field, but that's actually a very important topic. Thank you for raising it. Randveig, please.
First, a small comment on the translation. I've been checking some of the smallest population languages in Europe, being Northern European. I can't see a problem with it. Icelandic, under 400,000 speakers, works really well. Faroese seems convincing. So I don't think that is a problem. But I have a question, because I noticed that when I use the monitor or the site, I don't get a cookie warning. Do we have any plans of using the monitor to gather any type of data on the search patterns, or what it is that it's being used for, or anything of that nature that could be valuable for us as a data set to also support that the monitor is actually being used and for what it's being used for?
Well, we decided not to keep any cookies. This is why you don't get the notification.
I guess that was the reason.
And this was mostly because the nature of the project and everything puts things that we want to be easy into something that then becomes regulation of GDPR and other laws referring to the cookies and everything. We can discuss. I'll write it down between partners. Shall we implement some kind of not tracking, but maybe just statistics for the visitors? Because we can do that, especially on this first site and first part of the site. For sure, what we can or we have is the statistics about the country for accessing, but we are at the moment do not collect the information from, for example, IP or anything that's related to the customer or whoever is approaching to the site. So this is one perspective, and the comment for the earlier question is that if you are proceeding towards the protecting of the IP rights, and that's something that we see especially now at this discussion between students of digital technologies. So we do have an idea, can we protect it? Then this is just for the start. And then what idea needs to have for us to be able to protect it? Then when they realize what kind of work they need to do, then sometimes they just better understand how the product looks like. Because between the idea, between some fragment of technology which is working and the product, it's a long way. So this kind of database helps them to, without let's say major pain, to go through some similar records or find something that can help them to move on. Not really to solve the problem, not really to protect everything, but just to, this is a kind of a quick start tool, or at least it works like that. Database Monitor has much more information than just a quick start tool, but I think the people will use it because you need to start somewhere. So you can call your IPR advisor, and probably the first thing that he or she will do will send you what kind of features you need to have for the intellectual property to be protected. but then still you receive a document of 5 pages, at least in Croatia, which is not so understandable. You need to have some examples, and sometimes all the examples are not really useful because maybe your idea is a bit different, and it's not easy to find something that is similar to your idea. So if you want to see that there is an office, for example, in your region, in the part of the world where you are there, based on something that you are doing, that's a good start. Then you will call them and then move from there.
Yeah, thank you so much for these insights as well. Dolores?
Yeah, maybe just reflections in terms of potential uses, right? We behind this IP monitor, the idea was that there are a lot of databases, there are a lot of IP tools out there. It's kind of a maze, and deciding which one is the one for you can be quite challenging, especially if let's say you're a small company, you don't have all the time in the world to do it. So this kind of gives you the information of what is out there, but it also gives you information such as, is it a free? Is it behind a paywall? If it's a payable, can I get a demo? A free demo. And we've done this by also contacting the providers. So there are also instances when perhaps you would go to a web page and it wouldn't be so clear that you can have the demo in what way. So the providers actually gave us that information extra, which we inputted into the tool. So you can get an idea, right? You can try it out for 14 days, for 7 days, etc. Anna mentioned other opportunities as well. We were checking, are they AI supported? I think Anna, you've started with that and so on. So that's one opportunity for people that know there's things out there, but they're kind of lost in these offerings. The other one is because a lot of us come from the university. For students, for example, you have a new PhD candidate typically, and they say, oh, I want to do something about innovation and I want to do something quantitative. And then again, they're kind of lost, right? And of course you can suggest things, but I think it's also important that they discover new things. So we also tried, like Anna said, to maybe fish out some resources that are not immediately, in your face when you start typing patent database or trademark database. So I think that's also one of so for different target groups, probably there's different benefits arising. Yeah, that was all. It was more of a comment than a question. Sorry about that.
So thank you so much, Dolores, for saying this, because it helps the whole understanding of the reasoning of the IP monitor, the usage of IP monitor. Is there anyone else to have a question? Maybe somebody who is not part of the project. And since we are only 2 minutes before the end of this, maybe, if there is a question, maybe you can raise your hand now. And if not, I thank you so much, all of my colleagues working on the project and supporting this and putting their efforts into the contributing to the development of the IP monitor. I thank you all for being here today, for having the patience to stay till the end for some of you and most of you. And finally, again, use our IP monitor, make it useful for you. And when you do so, don't forget to give us some feedback so that we can make this wonderful thing even more wonderful, so that it's going to be not only the best thing in the world, but the undisputed Google of the IP tools. Thank you very much, everyone, for today's webinar. And I think you can follow us on a lot of platforms, including Facebook and LinkedIn. Check our newsletters on our webpage, and it's pretty straightforward, IPR4SC.eu. And yeah, have fun with us. See you soon. Bye-bye.